Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is time for another WIP Wednesday. This is, depressingly enough to say, take 4 of this WIP Wednesday. It is not my day. Honestly, I should not even be trying take 4. I should have just given up and tried again tomorrow, but we're gonna power through. So, I have been incredibly sick since last Thursday, so I'm going to throw this disclaimer out there. But I had to take my anti-nausea medication, and that's the only reason I'm doing this video is because of my meds. They finally kicked in, but in about 4 hours when they taper off, I'll be back in bed in a ball, not wanting to do anything. So the only drawback is they make me incredibly drowsy, and so I keep trying to record this and losing my train of thought, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone's gonna watch this and think I'm such a freaking weirdo or I've lost my marbles. So yeah, disclaimer, I had to take some meds to function today, not just to record, just to function in general. So hopefully I don't go off on a tangent or not make sense or something. I go off on tangents with or without a stomach ache, but probably more so when I'm drowsy. So FYI on that. But welcome to WIP Wednesday. I am working on this picture here. I always butcher this artist's name, and I've just given up on trying to say it. Amazing artwork on Etsy. I'll leave a link to this picture in the description below so that you can check them out. I actually started the skin using luminance, and this is on tan toned paper, which I am brand new to using, by the way. So you'll notice today as I'm coloring, I'm kind of a little more hesitant, putting down a light layer and testing the waters, so to speak, because it is way different from going from white to tan toned. The skin is still a work in progress with those Lumis. Karen Valentine, she is a colorist on YouTube. The other day I reached out to her and I was like, hey, can you help me with some skin tones? And she is so freaking sweet. She did a live video with me and we were chatting and going over this and what I needed to do. Awesome woman. So she gave me some tips and I'm gonna work on those this week. So if you're watching this right now, Karen, I haven't done it yet, but I will. I'm in progress. I just didn't want to do it on camera because I got my Lumis in one room and the rest of the picture I was doing with Prismacolors. So her skin is in progress, but I must say doing skin on tan toned paper is I can't go back to white paper now for portraits. It makes it a ton easier. You can see your highlights, and those of you who have watched me long enough know I like to color dark to light. It's how I go. So I've always struggled with highlights, because people are like, oh, put your highlights down first on white paper, and I'm like, but where are they? I don't see these things. And I don't see highlights first, period. Like, can't see them. Can't talk today. I see shadows first. I don't see highlights first. So the tan tone paper was nice because I was able to put down my white highlights just kind of as a guide. So I'm like, okay, Corey, don't color over those. Those are your highlights. So I'm digging this paper. I'm a little cautious though because I have never used my Prismas on this paper, never used my Lumis on this paper. So we'll see how this picture goes, but it's turning out well. It was one of my May planned pages, so I am on track. This was the last one in the bunch, actually. I've done all of them. But I don't know if I'll include this one in the hair series. Originally I was going to, but that was when it was on white paper, and now it's on the tan toned. And because I'm so new to the tan toned paper, I'm not quite sure I'm ready to do a hair tutorial because I need to play with it. you know what I mean, and see if the colors even jive for me. So we'll see. I'm playing that one by ear, but I don't want to promise that you'll see this hair. I am working on my blue hair with Brutes. As promised, I've been filming it slowly because I've been sick. So I plan to do some more work the rest of this week on that one and hopefully have it up by the weekend. Crossing fingers. But yeah, I have been very sick since last Thursday. I suffer from chronic gastritis. If you don't know what that is, it's hard to explain, but it's basically an inflammation of your stomach lining, but like your stomach lining is constantly inflamed. If you've ever had the stomach flu, this is a good way to put it. If you've ever had the stomach flu, you know how you, like your stomach, if you even press on your stomach physically, which is right below your ribs, I guess that's your breastbone. I don't know. Or this isn't an anatomy course, but you know, your stomach's up higher than your belly button. There. If you press on it, like when you have a stomach flu or food poisoning, you know how it's like tender to the touch. You have to be careful what you eat because like anything could just, you know, flare it up and you feel sick again. Most people get gastritis after a stomach flu. That's totally natural. Your stomach lining is inflamed because you picked up a virus or ate the wrong food, you know, and that's what happens. Well, mine is chronic, so mine doesn't resolve in a few days. Like, I could eat bland foods for the rest of my life. It's not going away. And the crappy part is I have yet to find a gastroenterologist or specialist or even just a freaking general doctor who can tell me why. No one to this day, and I've had it for almost 10 years now, can tell me why I am suffering from this. They've run every test in the book. I have to get endoscopies every 3 years. And I'm due for one this year. Ugh. I see my doctor tomorrow because I have had a bad gastritis flare up. And I know he's going to push for my annual endoscopy. I'm not looking forward to that. I don't mind the endoscopy, to be honest. I'm allergic to propofol, which is the medication they usually give people for surgeries and procedures. Knocks you out, you wake up, feel like you took a nap. You're not groggy. I'm allergic to it because, of course, why would things be easy? So they have to give me Versed and fentanyl, which knock me out for a very long time, leave me completely useless the rest of the day and crummy feeling. Oh, those drugs are not, Nope. I don't know how it could be taken recreational because I feel like crap when I come off of those things. So yeah, no, not looking forward to that part because I just get so crummy and I'm groggy and I have to basically lay in bed all day. I don't mind the whole not eating or drinking till I get the scope. This will be like my 5th endoscopy in 10 years. I've got that covered. I'm used to it, but the medications is what I hate. So yeah, I've had a flare-up, and when I have a flare-up, I get violently ill. Like, my stomach hurts really bad. I am super nauseous. I can't function. I can't eat. I can't drink. I can barely sleep. I'm curled up in a ball in my bed. So my doctor gave me some medication, and it's the anti-nausea meds. And like I said, that's the only reason I'm doing WIP Wednesday today. Otherwise, you would find me in my bed, curled up in a ball, wanting to die, because I don't handle being nauseous very well. I'm quite a wuss about it. Yeah, and then I'm on a regimen of this other medication that basically coats your stomach lining and tells it to chill the freak out. And I see him tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure he's going to tell me we've reached that point where I'm just going to have to go full-blown gastritis diet which means no coffee. I only have 1 cup a day, which my doctor has up till now told me that's okay because it's 1 cup, and I'm really good about drinking high quality coffees. So I don't drink anything like, I drink dark roast because those have less acid than the light roasts. I drink organic, shade grown, like I'm a coffee snob in general. Like I only go to Starbucks for pumpkin spice latte season, and then after that they're dead to me. But that's a whole other topic. Um, so yeah, I know he's gonna probably say I'm gonna have to go on that gastritis diet, and I've avoided a lot of the foods that irritate chronic gastritis, but I haven't gone on the full blown diet because yeah, it's been manageable with the medications, but the medications are not managing it. I have had a lot of flare-ups the last 3 years, and this last one is bad to the point where my husband was having to administer medications to me. That's what if you're married to an EMT who can inject you, it's nice, but I mean, that's how sick I was. Like, it was just, So yeah, the gastritis diet is basically no gluten, nothing acidic, nothing that produces acid, so no fats. So it's also dairy free, which I'm okay with for the most part, except like I do like cheese and yogurt, so losing those in my life is gonna be a bummer. Gluten I can live with, well, maybe, I don't know. But then yeah, there's certain fruits and vegetables you'll have to avoid. Also, I can eat eggs, just only egg whites, no egg yolks. The yolks are too fattening, and they create acid. And then like no meat, so you're basically vegetarian. You can have seafood though, so it's not vegan. Might as well be though, because you can't eat dairy and all that. So I mean, my protein sources are limited. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to put me on that. And, I'm getting older, and, with age comes less options for you to overcome these types of things. But what irks me the most is they still to this day cannot tell me why I have this condition. And I've seen a lot of specialists and a lot of doctors, and lucky me, I'm one of those medical mysteries. Like, 3 gastroenterologists haven't figured it out. It's incredibly frustrating. It wouldn't be as frustrating to deal with if someone could just give me the why, but because no one can even tell me why I have this, that's what's like killer about it. Because seriously, like about 10 years ago, one day I just woke up and I had this awful pain in my stomach. And I couldn't eat. I was having trouble drinking. I was, nauseous, throwing up. But it wasn't a stomach flu. I had no fever. And it didn't feel like a stomach flu. But anything I ate, I just felt horrible. I was super sick. And so I kind of was toughing it out. And then all of a sudden 3 weeks go by and I was losing weight because I wasn't eating. So I went in and they sent me to a gastroenterologist, and he was like, look, I could do a bunch of blood work and all this, but in the end, we're going to end up scoping you no matter what, because they were worried it could be something serious, I could have stomach cancer or something like that. And so I was just like, okay, well, then skip all the tests and just scope me, because that's the way to get the answer. And they did, and they found that I had gastritis, and at the time, they're like, oh, that's no big deal. We'll put you on some antacids to lower your stomach acid production, which will help your stomach lining heal, because that's what it is. Your stomach lining is constantly inflamed, and irritated, which does put you at high risk for stomach cancer, because your lining is so red, even in the pictures from the scope, you could see how red and irritated it was. And, it's not protecting itself. So it's like a breeding ground for cancer. So they have to get the acid and stuff under control. But he's like, yeah, if we put you on this antacid, you know, for a month, then we'll wean you off. It should be cured. Well, 10 years later, they still can't wean me off, and they do follow-up scopes, and the gastritis is still there. Hasn't gotten worse, but it hasn't improved either. It's about the same, and no one can tell me why to this day. So yeah, I've been on medications to manage it. Like I said, for the most part, I avoid things that I know are going to cause a flare-up, because flare-ups really take me out. But this last flare-up is just, nothing was working, so my doctor had to put me on a few other meds. And like I said, I see him tomorrow. I'm pretty sure he's going to just be like, well, I guess we're going to the no fun diet. But and like, he has this medication he gives me, and I'm supposed to take it if I am going to eat something that would, you know, irritate the gastritis, because my doctor is pretty realistic. He's like, you got to live. Like, you can't, you know, go to a birthday party or out to dinner with your husband and have like 2 things on the menu or nothing on the menu that you can actually eat. Like, people gotta live. So there's this like medication I can take that I'm only supposed to take when I'm going to eat something not good for my gastritis. It's not like something I should take daily, you know. So I have that, and right now that's the same medication I'm on 4 times a day and at bedtime because of my flare-up. But it basically just coats your stomach and prevents the lining from irritating it further than it already is. But right now I'm on it, like I said, several times a day because my stomach lining is so irritated. Like, I can't even drink water. I drink water and it hurts. So he got me those meds the other day. After about the 3rd dose, my stomach started to calm down a little, and then the anti-nausea meds helped a ton too. Like, those are actually what like really saved me, because I was just, ugh. But in return, I'm extra groggy and can't hold a thought. So hopefully today's episode makes sense. But yeah, so that's what I've been dealing with. Good Lord, I spent 20 minutes talking about that. I am so sorry. That's what I've been dealing with since last week. I know I'll be getting scoped here soon, and we'll just see how that goes, I guess. But last WIP Wednesday, I did talk about, you know, the working from home, and I absolutely love all the comments you guys left. And then I got a few emails from you guys. That was pretty cool too. So thank you for that. And despite all the craziness with my stomach, Monday, I did remember to put out a, you know, hey, what's your question? And I do have a question. It's actually a really, really good one. It's actually 2 questions, but from the same person. And they're really good ones. So let me turn to my screen so I can see them. Okay, so it is from Memphis Lily. Love the name, by the way. Super pretty. She asked 2 questions. The first question was, if you could only keep 5 sets of colored pencils, what would they be and why? I know Prismas are one of them, so you obviously watch my channel. I love you for that. They made me giggle, and I'm still giggling. So I'm going to answer that one first. I had to put some thought in this because you asked what, you know, not just which ones, but why. I was like, oh, there's a why in there. So I had to think on that. Okay, so yes, you are right. Obviously, Prismacolors. You know, my house is on fire. I'd probably grab my Prismacolors. Just kidding. Not that crazy. I don't know. We'll find out if that ever happens. But yeah, definitely my Prismacolors. And why is Prismas are my favorite. I just did my pencil collection video. I aired on Monday. If you haven't seen that, I kind of went through every set of pencils I own, and it's updated because in 2020 I did a video, but since then my collection has grown, obviously, if you've seen my haul videos and whatnot. So I thought, you know, it'd be fun to do an updated one, show you guys what I've added, but also kind of my opinions on certain pencils have changed. So like my 2021, there was some pencils I was like, you know, I don't like these things, but here they are, I own them. And then in my 2021 version, you'll notice there's a few where I'm like, you know what, I actually like these pencils now. So catch that if you haven't, because it kind of goes over everything that I've added, but also I just give a little insight, my opinions on them, again, mine, and how they work for me. Doesn't apply to the universe, just me. But the question was perfectly timed because all my pencils are fresh in my head. So, the reason I would keep my Prismacolors is Prismacolors are my favorite, and it's not just a comfort thing. I mean, yeah, I use them a lot, so obviously I know how they work, except on this tan tone paper, this is a whole new thing for me. But every pencil I buy, I compare to Prisma. If it's wax-based, if it's oil, that's just not fair to do. But there's certain aspects I'll still compare, like the color array. Do they have the same colors as Prisma? Because gosh darn it, Prismacolor, to me, has one of the best selections of colors. They've got the light blues, they've got the perfect greens, everything is balanced. And then somehow they squished in a bunch of grays and still gave you tons of colors. I don't know how they did it, but to this day, like when I get a set, I go, you know, this is good, but they don't have like this color from Prisma. And so Prisma to me is just, it's always been a pencil I love. It works with my coloring style. It's versatile. If I'm lazy, I can smush it together. If I'm feeling like super artistic, I can blend it out. It's just one of those ones where you really do feel comfortable using it. Well, for me, I'm sorry, not everyone, just me. And yeah, so it's like my blanket in the winter. It's warm and cozy and makes me just so happy. So Prisma, number one. Number two would have to be my polychromos. I love my polychromos pencils a lot, and I'm not the layering type, but I don't find that polychromos, I mean, they do layer and can layer and layer and layer, but they don't have to. They work with my coloring style. I've found a way to adapt them to my coloring style. So they are one of my favorites as well, and I love their color selection as well. And there's only 120 of those, and they still have a pretty awesome balance. There's times I'm feeling like I'm missing a few things here and there, but overall I really like how they work. They're well constructed. I love the way they feel when you're coloring with them. They're smooth. So definitely that would be number two. All right, third. I'm gonna have to say it's my Inktense. You know, Inktense pencils are just so fun to use, whether you're coloring on top of them, you know, doing something super elaborate or super simple. They're incredibly fun once you get past the learning curve. When you first get them, you're like, what are these things? The colors are vibrant. I have like no complaints about those Inktense. I love them. Super fun pencil. So yeah, Inktense would be number three. Number four. You know, I'm gonna have to go with, yep, probably my Luminance pencils. I don't use them a ton. I do have my gripes with the Luminance. You know, like where the heck are the pinks and the purples? And why on earth are you getting rid of the coolest pink ever? Why? Why? But anyway, the Luminance, I do like how they perform and lay down on paper. They're an awesome pencil. I have never had any quality issues with them whatsoever. So I would definitely take those with me. And so that's 4, right? Yeah. So the 5th one would have to be my Derwent Lightfast. I love those things. They're oil-based. So they're like the Luminance, but oil-based. And honestly, they help one another so well. So I can't really keep Luminance and discard the Lightfast because sometimes I need my Lightfast to supplement what Luminance doesn't have and vice versa. So yeah, if I had to do just 5, it would be Prisma first, and then the Polychromos, my Inktense, the Luminance, and then my Lightfast. So that was a really good question, and thank you for asking that one, actually, especially so close to my video, because then I had it all fresh in my brain. Otherwise, that I would have been like, oh, this is rough. But since I had just done my video, I was kind of like, oh, hey, kind of refreshed on everything. And no, I'm not, and Holbein's wouldn't be one of them. Yes, I own Holbein's, but like I explained in my collection video, I got a love-hate with the Holbein's. I don't think they're worth the price tag. I'm using them more now that I can get them in the US, but geez Louise, on that open stock price, I'm not trying to use them to the point where I gotta replace one anytime soon. So, but yeah, Holbein's wouldn't be on there, unfortunately, especially with how much those things cost. But okay, and then she had 2 questions. So her second one was, which 3 illustrators bring you the most joy, or you are most excited to bring their illustrations to life? That was a really cool question because, you know, as a colorist, if you're talking to someone who's not into adult coloring, they often go, well, why are you coloring? Why don't you just draw? I mean, I can draw certain things. I can't draw portraits. I tried the other day. Oh my gosh, was not pretty. I can draw nature. I got nature down. But the thing is I kind of look at it as, you know, there's artists out there drawing these wonderful pictures, and then there's colorists who kind of complete the picture. And I actually have a friend who's an artist who cannot color. Sketching is her thing, and she said she loves it because, you know, people can bring her work to the finish line where she couldn't do it herself. And so this question was perfectly timed because I just had this conversation with someone about it. But there's certain illustrators out there that I do like, you know, more than others. I have been getting a lot more into Etsy and PDFs, but there's also some book illustrators that I absolutely adore as well. But if I had to pick 3, so my first would be Mariola Budek. I'll be honest, I was not really into portraits for a long time, but that was because I was afraid to do skin. I loved coloring hair. I just couldn't do the skin. So I finally faced my fears and dove in, and I just love her work. She even does non-portrait stuff. Like she has her flower book, which I just got. She does those adorable little pictures. I mean, the woman is beyond talented. So she is one of my favorite illustrators. I love her work. Let's see, a second one would have to be, you know, I'd have to say Clara Markova. I really like her illustrations. They're cute and fun and quirky and adorable. And I don't know how to put it into words. It might be because I'm on this medication. So, But yeah, I just love her style. It's fun and unique. And I wish I could get her books easier and not pay a fortune to ship them to me. But you know what? I buy them and I ship them, so I must really love them if I pay as much in shipping as I do for this stupid book. So Clara Markova for sure would be one of those. Let's see, who would be a third? Oh, that's a rough one, especially because I've been finding new artists on Etsy lately. But, you know, I'd have to say, oh gosh, it's so hard to choose because there are so many that I love. So darn it to this question. Okay, I'm gonna have to say Denise Klett. I think that's how you say her name. She does like the gnomes in the neighborhood. She has such fun, like quirky artwork. I just adore it to death. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say Denise's work would be the next one. So those three. Oh, that was such an awesome question. It had me thinking for sure, and it's just perfect timing too. It was almost like when I first read that, I was like, oh my gosh, because seriously, not even an hour before she had posted that question, I had that conversation about, you know, colorists add the, you know, finishing touches to an illustrator's work. So it was really funny. And then I saw that question. I was like, oh, how coincidental. But awesome questions. Awesome. And hopefully I answered everything. But please, anyone, feel free to leave a comment below on this week's video or when I post the prompt. I often forget to post the prompt, so you're better off posting it here and I'll answer it next week. But because otherwise I'm like, oops, forgot about that one. But yeah, ask any question. It can be things just like, you know, like she did, you know, what's your favorite pencils? What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Of course, that might be a salty topic because I might never be able to eat ice cream again after my appointment tomorrow. So don't ask that one because I might be cranky. Oh, I'm so not ready for that appointment tomorrow, guys. One, because I just don't want to do a scope. It's, every time like I get scoped, I kind of have like a mini panic attack because I'm always afraid that like it's gotten one worse, which is, but two, just because I'm at very high risk for stomach and esophageal cancer because of my condition, it like stresses the crap out of me. I'm not gonna lie. So that's probably another reason I'm a little rambly and off today. Because I am just nervous as heck. I have been really trying to avoid getting this next scope done because I'm a little terrified, especially with this latest flare-up and how sick I got. And the fact that most of my flare-up medications didn't fix it had me really worried. So yeah, let's avoid food questions for a while, for sure. Even if it's nothing bad. I know for sure he's gonna tell me to go on the gastritis diet. I love food. I went to culinary school. I was a pastry chef. I love food. Food brings me joy. I probably love it a little too much because I'm a stress eater. So I'm like, if I'm stressed, there better not be a bucket of cookies anywhere nearby. That's all I gotta say. But I love flavor, and pretty much everything that I'm gonna be restricted from eating is, yeah, anything that is fun to eat. Like, I love Mexican food. My favorite food is enchiladas. There's really no way to enjoy enchiladas without cheese. And I'm not using that cheese replacement crap. No, I will not do it. So I may never eat enchiladas again. Oh my gosh. But I'm just more nervous because I'm worried like something's progressed in the wrong direction or something, more than losing my diet. Trust me, there's bigger things I'm worried about than what I'm going to eat tomorrow. But yeah, we will see how it goes. I'll let you guys know next week or cry about it on Instagram. We'll see. So yeah, it's just, I wish I had more to chat about. Like I said, this is take number 4, so maybe if I wasn't on the 4th take, I would have more. But whenever you do these videos, and for those of you who make videos, maybe you'll understand what I'm saying. You know, like when you redo a video and then you're going through your color and chat and you're like, crap, did I say this on that video or take number 1 or 2 or 3? Like, have I already talked about this? So like, that's part of the problem. I'm sitting here trying to remember what I have and have yet talked about with you guys. So it's not just the anti-nausea meds. It's me trying to be like, did I already talk about this on this take, or was that on the one I just erased? So it's all over the place today, guys. But yeah, kids' baseball season is going strong, but with Memorial Day, we'll have a little break, which is good because I feel like crap. Went to my daughter's game last night, and I was sitting there, I wanted to hurl at her game. And so you're sitting there like, don't throw up, you're in public, you know. And not that I want to talk about throwing up on my channel, but yeah, it was just a horror fest. And then I was getting stressed because I was stressed about the whole situation of being there, and stress just irks your stomach even more. So I'm glad that there will be a slight break in games because of Memorial Day weekend, and hopefully my stomach repairs so that their next game I'm not a complete hot mess. And I had to bring the treats for her team, otherwise I probably would have stayed home. Let's see, I need a light blue. Probably would have stayed home and avoided that whole situation, but I was the treat person. And then my puppy comes back from her board and train. I think. I haven't heard anything. He does keep them if they haven't achieved all their goals, so we'll find out. But so far she's been doing really well. Apparently he wants to keep her. I was like, that's stinker. She's doing great for him. Doesn't listen to me. But I mean, he is a dog trainer, and this isn't his first husky experience, so he gets their diva attitudes. I think I would, having 2 daughters, because it's practically the same thing. Oh, but guys, guess what came in the mail? Yes! My Felissimos! They came to the right house. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how giddy I was, because when they charged my card the other day, I was like, oh my gosh, please come to the right house. You know, I had that little thing where they kept sending it to my old house, and our buyer is awesome. Like, so yeah, use the garage code, just go in and grab it. I left it on the counter for you. But I want to do that for the next 2 years of the subscription. And like I had mentioned in one of my videos, I had to finally, because they were ignoring every email I sent. Someone did comment that if you email them in Japanese, they reply, which would make sense. Yes, they're in Japan, but if you're going to sell a product and ship it around the world, I should not have to write a message in Japanese to get your customer service to respond. And I'm not being a jerk about it. It's just, you have to be able to reply to your market. Like, I get that maybe they'll reply faster if I wrote in Japanese, but I don't know how to do that. I guess I could have used Google Translate, but I don't know if it would have made sense. But yeah, they had ignored quite a few messages. I tallied them up. I sent 6 total. The 6th one is the one they replied to, and they replied to that one because I said, you know what, I have received no response. I am going to dispute this on my PayPal. And they replied to that one. So while they probably reply faster if you write it in Japanese, I was a little irked that I had to threaten my payment and suddenly, hey, here they are replying to me. So they had promised that they made sure their shipping department was using the right address for the next set, and they came through. It came to my house, so I'll be doing the swatching later today. Like I said, I'm trying to take advantage of my stomach meds while they're kicked in and get some videos out. So I'll be swatching those, and then probably get a haul video in this week. I am working on the blue hair. I've been posting pictures on Instagram, and I'm thinking I'll have it up by this weekend. Gosh, I can't even remember if I talked about this on this one or take 1, 2, or 3. But yeah, I am working on the blue hair with Brute Flooners. Brute Flooners? That's how I say it. And it's coming along pretty well. It's just taking a while. I can tell you right now, the Brute Flooners are a cool pencil, but if you compare those to other artists' ones when it comes to hair, I'm seeing some serious differences when it comes to like coverage and everything. So, and I'll discuss that on the video. And actually, I'm going to do a review of the Brute Flooners because it was good to use them in this aspect, because a lot of the reviews are using them for like Johanna Basford books and other books, which they work great in. I absolutely agree, which is why I didn't do a review on the Brute Flooners, because I was like, yeah, y'all have it nailed. However, I did an entire portrait. I did skin, I did a hair, obviously, doing the blue hair, and my opinion has slightly changed. Not too bad. There's still an awesome pencil. It's just there's some things, distinct like differences you pick out immediately. Like I went from using polychromos to do that red hair tutorial to the Brute Flooners. Now they're both oil based, so that was a good jump to go from one oil to another. But I'm seeing some differences, so I am gonna do a review of Brute Flooner now. I think I have to. That way, for those who want to do more portrait or, you know, realism, you have some things to keep in mind. That said, I have seen people color amazing things with Castle Art, Crayola. So I don't think the price tag necessarily indicates how awesome your picture looks, because let's face it, there's got to be some skill in there too. The pencil only goes so far before it's like down to skill. That said, you know, the pencil can determine a lot, like pigments and, you know, how many layers and all that. And you can only pull so much pigment out of a pencil that's there. You can't just, you know, you can layer and layer and layer, but eventually it only goes so far. And do you want to layer that long? I don't. I'm not a layering type. You all know that. So yeah, I will be doing a review on those. It's on my list. I've been working on my to-do list for June. So if there's any certain videos or tutorials you would like to see, totally get those in now. I have a couple of requests already. Someone requested a mermaid tail. I'm going to do that, and fairy wings. It won't be mermaid anymore, but you can use it for next, you know, year's mermaid. I'm kind of mermaid out anyway, so it'll be good to do it in like the middle of June after I get a couple weeks break from the mermaids. But yeah, I do have a few of those in the works. But if there's any videos you want, or more hair, I've got a whole list of hair suggestions and requests from you guys. Super appreciate it. I love all the requests. It's making it easier each time I go to jump to the next one. I'm like, hey, I already got one lined up. Right now it's just a matter of, ooh, which one do I feel like doing, you know? But yeah, anything, you know, you want to learn how to color paper, not like paper, but like book paper in your coloring books or something. I don't know. Don't ask me how to color on tan tone paper. I'm still learning that. So that's gonna be a while before I can be like, here's how to do this. But yeah, please let me know if there's anything in June. I'm gonna also do a color along of sort. I haven't decided what it'll be. I have had a few people ask if I'm gonna live stream. So I do plan to give it a go in the fall. It'll be when the kids are back in school. I'll try and do it like towards the end of the afternoon when, you know, my East Coast friends are at home and not at work. But the problem is for live streaming, oh come on, jets. Sorry if you hear the jets. I swear their beacon goes off every time I'm filming. But yeah, the problem is I have to kind of film when my kids are at school, or I don't know. I've thought of doing it late at night, but I need to test the lighting in this office. I have yet to film here at night yet. But I would like to do some live streams here and there. It won't be something I do predominantly. I know there's some colorists that do just live streams and live streams only, and it's awesome. Like, I just can't do that. I'm not in that space to be able to, and I won't be able to like go, hey guys, I'm gonna stream every Friday at this time. Mine will be pretty like just, oops, I'm putting on a stream right now. Like maybe I'll give you a day warning, I don't know, but there will be no schedule to it. Definitely gonna just fly by the seat of my pants on that one when I do get into that, and even then it might just be like once a month. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how receptive it is, but it would be fun to interact with you guys live. You know, because I do have these WIP Wednesdays and they're great. It's just I'd love to chat with you guys live as well, answer questions live, just interact in general with all of you who have been so awesome and watching me and so sweet to comment or hit me up on Instagram. So I do want to try it out. I just probably wait till fall before we see that. As for this feather, I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'll be honest. As I started to color these feathers, I was like, you know, I've never really colored feathers. So just grabbed some colors and went with it, and here we are. It's actually not looking too bad. I'm liking it. It's kind of like hair almost. Yeah, sort of. Or how I do certain flower petals. But if you're wondering with that, or if I'm doing this feather with an improper technique, just know that I honestly, now that I think of it, I can't recall if I've ever colored a feather in my coloring career. Or I don't want to call it a career because it's not a job, but you know what I mean. Trying to get, I do want a little darkness in there. Always got to add that black. Get some shadows, not everywhere. It's funny because almost every hair color I do has black in it, I've realized. Even blonde. Except my platinum blonde. My platinum blonde, I don't have black in it, but black is just an all-around good color. And once you find a black pencil that you like, you'll notice you use it a lot. Like my Prisma black is my go-to. I lost my luminance black. Oh my gosh, that irks me so much. I have no idea where it is either. I don't know how I would have lost my black pencil, but it's gone. And I even had to double check my swatch chart because I was like, is there a black in luminance? Like I had to actually think about it. There is. I've lost it and I'm so mad because I don't know how I could have possibly lost it. And worse, I need to now buy it open stock, and those aren't cheap. So I'm not very happy about that one right now. So yeah, I've lost that one. Not that it was like a favorite and I didn't use it very often anyway, but I need it in case I want to do black hair, because I do use the black luminance for black hair. I love luminance pencils for hair. The point, they hold their point amazingly well. Like just, for a wax pencil, oh my gosh, it's awesome. So yeah, no clue where my black one went, but I plan to do a black hair color because someone requested it. So I need to order it from Blick. Or I could quit being lazy and just go to the freaking Blick store that's an hour away. Yes, that's right. I have a Blick store an hour away, and yet I still order online and wait impatiently for them to ship it to me. And it doesn't even ship from the one locally. It ships from like New Jersey. But we have one out here. It's just in this really artsy-fartsy area of Salt Lake, known as Sugar House. If you're from Utah, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's where there's tons of vintage antiques and stores and cute little cupcake shops and art galleries, and it's just the art center of Salt Lake City. But they also have like the most insane parking. And for those of you who follow me, I bought that new car, which by the way, I can't park. I suck at it. I drove a minivan. I've driven other SUVs. I don't know why I can't park this stupid thing. But you know, God bless technology. It's got parking sensors all over, but like the dashboard, so it has like your little car and then a grid. And it's just like lighting up and going to red. And I'm like, ah! And once you hit red, if you try to gas pedal it through that, it auto brakes for you. It won't let you go past the red zone, which is nice. But I can't park that stupid car. It's just going to take some practice. I am also a very small person. I'm a tiny human. And that car is a big car, but I mean, I parked a minivan and it was the same length, but it's not as wide and as beefy tall as this thing is. And I think that's the problem. I'm just trying to get used to it. So yeah, taking it down to downtown Salt Lake in general would be iffy because the lanes are pretty narrow downtown anyway. But then to top it off, this area, this neighborhood called Sugar House, their parking stalls, I swear, they're made for like freaking Honda Civics and mopeds. Like they're not gonna fit any SUV. And if I can't park in a normal parking stall, yeah, I'm gonna wait on that. I could park a few neighborhoods down and walk there, which I should probably do because I'm trying to lose weight, but that's hard to do when you're nauseous. So I'm just a whole mess right now. But so yeah, I'm gonna order my missing black pencil on Blick, even though I could just go drive and get it. I drive through Salt Lake every other week to take my son to his dad's house. Do I stop there at Blick? Nope, I don't. But also, they're not open on Sundays, and that's 50% of the time I drive him, so. But yeah, I'll order my black pencil, and then once that comes, I can do the black hair, because I actually have a black hair combo from Lumis that I love to use, but I need the black pencil. And that's the entire point of that story, by the way. Need black pencil, lost it, won't drive to Blick, gotta order it. So, that was that. I'm trying to finish up this feather, but I don't know if I want to add more, because this little feather's in the way here. So technically, if we're being all realistic, there should be a shadow there. Let's add my blue. But look how, okay, if this was white paper, my blue would not be going on like this. I mean, look how it shows up on there. And it just, wow. On white paper, this blue would not be so bold and amazing. That's why I think I've been ruined by trying this tan-toned paper for portraits and stuff now, because it's just, holy moly. I mean, look at that. Look at that color. Like on white, I would be layering or pressing super hard. I am using like zilch pressure here. And I mean, check it out. It is just, look at that. I mean, I got no words. It's awesome. I can't believe I've never tried this paper before. Well, okay, I lied. I've tried the Strathmore one, because that was what everyone had recommended back when I first started coloring. It was always Strathmore for everything. Their colored pencil, their tan tone paper. I am not a Strathmore fan. No offense to those who are. We all have our own preference on paper. I just like a very smooth cardstock. You know, I know there's a lot of people also like the Vellum Bristol. It's too toothy for me. All of those are too toothy. I've tried them all. I spent, oh my gosh, I've spent hundreds of dollars on paper until I finally found what I like. I don't like tooth. And there seems to be this misconception that you absolutely must have toothy paper to use colored pencils or you can't layer. That's up for debate. I mean, how many layers are we talking? Because I've already put quite a few layers on my hat here and I can add more. So really, yes, the toothier paper, you have a lot more you can layer with, but I don't think it's fair to outright say, oh, you can't layer on those papers, or I mean, you can't layer on smooth paper, sorry, because that's not true. I like smooth paper. I am a heavy-handed colorist. I'm an impatient colorist. I want my color down now. These feathers would actually be done a lot quicker, but I'm so new to the tan tone that I'm actually taking my time and applying small color, and that's only because it's easier to erase. Otherwise, I would be going in there with heavy pressure and doing my thing that I normally do. But I like a smooth cardstock, so I found white ones that I love that are smooth and meet my needs. But when it came to the tan toned ones, I couldn't find it. And then I was turned on to this Desert Storm one. Karen Valentine uses it on her channel. And so I bought a pack of it and printed my first one, which is this one here. And it's smooth, perfectly smooth. But I can layer just fine on this paper. I mean, this skin, I have some more work to do on this skin, and there's plenty of layers that I can put back down on here. So I guess it just depends on what your idea is of a ton of layers. I mean, are we talking like 50 layers? I mean, I don't know. This skin, I think, is like 4 or 5 already, and it can take more. And also, I think it just depends on the pressure too. Do you burnish your paper out quickly? But I like smooth cardstock, and I'm a firm believer that you can still layer and get the effect you want on the smooth cardstock and not have to deal with a bunch of toothiness that you got to cover up, because that's why I don't like the toothy papers. I'm forced to layer, and I don't have the patience for that. I want it done. Like, I want to move on to step 2. So I was super happy to find this one. I'll leave a link in the description below. It is pretty expensive to buy the whole pack of it. So sticker shock, FYI. I think it was like 60. Was it 60 for the whole pack? I know there's a link for a smaller pack out there somewhere too, but I'll just link the one I bought. I bought the big pack, but I don't have any regrets, and I am totally going to use this paper a lot more because I am having a blast with it. I am loving that I can do my dark to light thing and throw down a highlight and it just shows up flawlessly, whereas I have to do a little extra work to do that on white paper, especially with my dark to light preference. I have to be careful, and you know, because otherwise I'll color over my highlight area and not be able to get that color in there. But not with this paper. Nope. Might even start printing some flowers and stuff on this and play around with it. But yeah, I love this paper. Love it. And then I have some black paper suggestions I need to go buy, because I've been on the hunt for some black paper. So do some stuff on black paper too. Yeah, this picture, I think Like I said, I'm debating if it'll be in the hair series or not, just because I'm new to this paper, and it does require a little bit different coloring style than white paper, as with any different medium, to be honest. So I just kind of need to play around with it. I love how it's so silky smooth, and it works great with my coloring style and Prismas, like how I use Prismas. So that could be the other thing. I'm pretty heavy-handed with my Prismas, but they're made for that. They were built. Okay, well, they were also built for layering, but they can manage the smoosh technique and do just fine. See, I love the colors. Oh, love it. I think I'm gonna call it here though. I've rambled on for an hour for you guys, and some of you are probably like, what did I just watch? So I do apologize if I rambled. Like I said, I have not been feeling well, and I am currently being held together by medication. And hopefully next week I am not. But thank you so much for the questions. Thank you so much for the awesome comments from last week. You guys are great. I am having a blast. I'm meeting a lot of new people. A lot of you who have subbed for a while have kind of like, you know, just said, hey, I've subbed for a while and wanted to say hey. And I thought that was super cool. I've been really digging that. So I appreciate all the support and everything that all of you guys have been doing. And so yeah, for sure, leave a question below if you want to answer it on next week's WIP Wednesday. And then I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week, a wonderful and safe Memorial Day, no matter what you end up doing. And then until next time, take care.